Good evening, guys. My name is TischPhotos Tisch here, and after a long day of Counter-Strike, we are finally done. We're here with Relyk, the Grand Finals winner. Relyk, man, how's it feel to be Grand Final winners?
It feels great, man. I mean, yesterday with all the delays, we just wanted to play, and then I basically told my team as we were playing through groups that I didn't want to wait 6 hours and not win the event. So it felt good. It was a pretty easy tournament up until the very end of brackets, and then obviously like the finals. Some teams started putting up a better of a fight as people got weeded out through brackets. But yeah, no, it feels great, man. It almost feels like you let yourself down if you play like a 2-day event with delays and then play second or third.
Yeah. So what do you feel was the biggest challenge of this tournament so far?
I would actually say Mambo Kings. We played almost extreme early in the bracket, and they did get 7 rounds on us, which was the second highest. But it was kind of because we didn't close it early. We were playing kind of too aggressive. But Mambo Kings, they got 7 rounds on us during the earlier in the bracket when we dropped into lowers, and then they fought their way through lowers, went to all 3 maps at the end of the lower brackets, and they came into the grand finals swinging. They knew that we had the map advantage and they'd have to play hard. I would say Mambo Kings both in the regular bracket and then in the grind, when they came from lowers, for sure.
So walk us through a little bit about grand finals. Your first map was Cash. It was a little bit of a struggle in the beginning, but you guys did clutch it out in the end. So go ahead and walk me through that.
Well, we kind of felt Cash was one of our stronger maps. We played a little bit online together, but we're more of a pug. And Cash is definitely a map where you can just kind of work picks and, open up sites. It's not as strat heavy. You don't need a lot of practice. Cash was a struggle because on T side, we ended up losing pistol. We lost the next 2 rounds. It was 3-0. And we won the first gun round and the next round, and then they won it, and it was really back and forth. So on T side, it was really hard to establish any momentum or economy. And then we kind of got some traction towards the later end of the half, and it was about 9-6 at halftime, I think. And going into CT half, though, we won pistol, and then we got ecoed. So it's kind of like, 9-6 is good, but now it's 10-7. Like, they can still make a comeback. But then we ecoed them back, and from there, we shut them down. That would be 6 rounds, and they only got 1 more. So, Cash, we locked it down on CT side. I think a little bit more comfortable on CT because you wait for them to come to you, and we're more comfortable at establishing map control. Whereas on T side, it's like people, like indecisiveness, and that's kind of like the road to defeat when you wait too long because then you have no time, and then you're rushing, and then you run into a stack. So Cash was a struggle beginning of T side, kind of getting there. But once we got in our groove and found momentum, we kind of shut it down.
All right, and then Kabul, you guys just looked like you completely and totally dominated. You want to walk me through a little bit of Kabul?
We had been actually waiting to play Kabul the entire tournament. Kabul had only been played twice besides the time we played it, and every other map was 20 plus. During the downtime, actually, on the first day of the LAN, we were kind of just in offline Kabul servers trying to find smokes and stuff because it's a fun map. We had a flawless CT pistol, and we kind of started establishing the momentum. The issue with them on Kabul is that we actually got ecoed, just like on Cash. And so we got ecoed, and we didn't eco them back then. And so they started building some money, and then we won the first gun round, and then I think they won another round. But a huge round was when we stacked B, and we ecoed them with just P2000s and like a P250, like starter pistols, and they had an op that crushed their economy. We'd win 3 more rounds, 4, I think 4, and then they won 1, and then we reset them. And it's kind of like the downfall of a lot of teams where you win a round and you feel like you're getting somewhere, and then you lose the next one, and you just constantly keep them broke. Kabul was 16-5 because it was simply a case of we win 4 in a row, they win 1, we'd reset them, we'd win 3 more in a row. I think it's just we had scrimmed Kabul 1 time online together, and they really love the map. So it's just kind of a thing of they're comfortable playing it.
So any big shout outs that you want to give to anyone?
Shout out to my teammates. If you guys didn't know, we're DreamKillers. Actually, everyone on my team has played in Invite. They've played professionally before. Handled and Char were taking this season off. Zek and Demise actually played this season of professional on Mousepads. Besides that, shout out to my dad. He was cool. He came and hung out to watch and brought us pizzas and stuff. Shout out to my girlfriend. Pim. She made me call her to wake her up so she could watch the finals.
Awesome.
Besides that, not much. I don't know if I can say, but one word to note is I saw people on forums kind of complaining about the delays and stuff. Every LAN has growing pains. Like the biggest East Coast LAN is Philadelphia, and the first few were terrible. You know, as they have more events, they get better at things. They get better at the planning, and you gotta support it because the LAN scenes, is growing and coming back. And if they don't have support, they can't continue doing what they do. Every event that they've held 3 CS:GO events, they've lost money, and it's because you have to do that when you're trying to build something. So keep supporting LANs, man, especially these small local LANs, because not everyone is going to get to go to a major, but they can have the same experience because it's, Counter-Strike is a LAN game. It's meant to be played on LAN, like to feel the energy, to get hyped, So support these kind of LANs, man. They'll get better. The current Philadelphia's went from these awful LANs. Now they have dedicated 144 Hz monitors and PCs, and they want to get there. And just keep supporting, wherever you are, whether you're in SoCal, or East Coast, support all the local LANs you can.